Hi, I'm Jayne Cravens, and I have a confession to make. If your initiative says that it's deeply concerned with human rights, or deeply concerned with the digital divide, or that it wants to make a more welcoming world for everyone, but your website isn't accessible for people with disabilities or people using assistive technologies, I have a really hard time believing you. I have a really hard time taking you seriously. I'm not a web designer. I'm not an expert on the challenges faced by people with disabilities. It was in the 1990s when I heard about the issue of web accessibility, and my immediate reaction was, we have to do this. My organization has to do this. How can I say that I care about human rights or that I care about the digital divide if, because of my website design, I leave out people with disabilities or people using assistive technologies? Again, I am not a web designer, but I manage web designers. I hire web designers. I work with web designers. And I tell those designers up front that I want at least minimal web accessibility standards on any website they create for our initiative. Images have to have alt tags. There can be no read more or click here links. All links have to be descriptive. Tables have to be accessible. There has to be text representation of any text that's in a graphic somewhere on a web page, like the name of the organization in our initiative's logo. There has to be excellent use of color contrast. I do not accept excuses from web designers that they can't do those very basic things, and you shouldn't either. Anytime you are recruiting a web designer, whether it's a paid position or a volunteer position, put into the role description that candidates should be able to make the commitment to designing to the standards of Section 508 of the Workforce Rehabilitation Act, defined by the U.S. government website www.section508.gov. That's www.section508.gov. In addition, you should also support your web designers right now in learning how to make websites accessible. For instance, there's a nonprofit organization in Austin, Texas that's called Knowbility. That's Knowbility. Knowbility. Each year, Knowbility has an on-site training event called the John Slayton Access U. Access U teaches accessible web design skills in an interactive and communal environment. Attendees learn everything they need to know about integrating accessibility into an organization's online tools. Each year, Knowbility also has an online hackathon called Open Air. AIR means Accessibility Internet Rally. Teams of 4 to 6 web designers participate in this event for about 7 weeks. They participate remotely. They don't have to travel anywhere. These web designers get training on accessible web design, and they put those skills to use by designing or redesigning a website for a nonprofit or an artist, like a musician or a painter or a dance company. Open Air is also a competition. Knowbility gives awards for the best designs. Your organization's web designer could participate in Open Air and then bring back the skills they learned to your organization. So what I'm trying to say is, there's just no excuses not to have a website that is accessible for people with disabilities and people using assistive technologies. You can at least do the very basics. You say your initiative cares about human rights. You say your initiative cares about the digital divide. You say your initiative welcomes everyone to be a part of it. Then you better have a website that's at least basically accessible. And if you want to support the work of Knowbility, it's a nonprofit organization, there's no better way than making a donation. Visit knowbility.org and donate whatever you can. Any amount is helpful. You will get the opportunity to write a note with your online donation, and if you do donate, I hope you will say that you're donating because of this video. Please use my name, Jayne Cravens. So that's it. That's my confession. Thanks for listening.